Today I want to look more specifically at what truly made America great and what can make America great again. So let's get started. Everybody, welcome to Reason for Truth. I'm your host, Stevie Garofalo. Reason for Truth, truth first, reasons last. But we're always and constantly doing what? Learning. Learning's important, folks. Don't let people say, well, learning's bad. Just go do this for a living. Make sure education's important, okay? Even for the sake of education. Stop learning, stop teaching, or at least stop teaching well. According to Pew Research Center's projected figures for 2020, Christianity is the most practiced religion in the world, about 2.4 billion adherents, representing about 31% of the global population. The numbers are forecasted to grow 22.4 to exceed 2.9 billion by 2050, which would remain equivalent to the group's current share of the world's overall population, about 31%. Islam, though, it's likely to be the fastest growing religion, according to Pew, during this period, with the number of Muslims increased from 1.9 billion in 2020 to nearly 2.8 billion in 2050. And this should wake up Christians about the seriousness of their faith and the seriousness of getting equipped to share their faith in a multicultural world. So how can we do that? I want to recommend one great resource, which is Equipped Academy. Go out there, equippedacademy.com. Check out the basics and the advanced online certificate courses. You can do that anywhere in the world. If you're able to get the book, there's Equipped book that goes with it. You'll see it on there. Listen, at present, the United States of America has the largest Christian population in the world, with Christians making up over 70% of the country's overall population. This begs the question, though, as to what did make America great? Was it our capitalist system, society, economic system? Was it our freedoms, our money, our spirit? I would assert that you could plug any and all of these things into that answer under the federal headship of Jesus Christ and God. Seeking God first, all other things second. Simply put, putting God in front of all these things as opposed to in back of culture, laws, values, money, freedoms, you name it. That's a different story. That's going to cause failure. That's what we're experiencing now here in 2024. This is evident in the presence of the Christianity and the Christian values in some of America's and the world's largest companies. Let's take a look, okay? Because people tend to look at America as having the largest, obviously, economy and the greatest companies and the biggest companies. So I think that's really what people equate being the greatest country. That's really, when you say make America great again, it's always attached to economic and commerce. So, okay, if you want to play by those rules, I would say God's first, but let's look here, okay? Companies that promote Christian values. There are several large companies or corporations in the United States that are known for having deep religious roots, according to the article. It's the way they put it. One of them is Tyson Foods, which embraces spirituality in the workplace and enshrines in its core values the company's commitment to strive to honor God. Another way which Tyson Foods uses to build religious inclusion in its corporate culture is through a chaplaincy program that offers pastoral care to employees that require it. Tyson Foods is one of the largest processors, by the way, and marketers of beef, pork, and chicken in the world. Not the United States, the world. Then there's hotel chain Marriott International, which is Mormon-owned, Mormon is not Christianity. They may say that, Latter-day Church of Jesus Christ. No, they use the Bible. They are really polytheistic and pantheistic, meaning believe in many gods. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, but they're morally good people, and I have friends that are Mormons. They're nice people. They're very accomplished people. So I'm just speaking religious terms from the first part of that conversation. And listen, the Mormon-owned and run business Marriott is known for having a dominant influence in religion and its culture. According to a 2018 report by the Washington Post, Marriott International has long supplied its hotels with religious texts, including the Bible. You're starting to see the Mormon Bible pop up, usually side by side. So I'll give them credit with that. They own the place, right? Okay, some years back, the company released a statement to the Associated Press in the matter, saying that the tradition is appreciated by most of its guests, as many of them are not digitally connected and prefer having religious books available in their rooms by Marriott International Hotels. Now, I would say in today's world, that was probably an old quote because just about everybody's digitally, connected today. But still, people like to pick up the pages of the book, not just look at their screen. People are looking at their screens all day. Then there's Alaska Air Group, Inc., has for decades provided prayer cards to travelers. How about that with Alaska Airlines in-flight meals? The practice continued for about 4 decades. It's along about 40 years, from 1970s through 2012, when the company decided to put an end to the prayer cards. Alaska Air Group, Inc. said it stopped by its tradition to respect the diverse beliefs of their passengers, as well as their employees who worked for the airline. Alaska Air Group is the 6th largest airline in the world. Fast food chain Chick-fil-A, everybody knows them. It's another great example of a company having deep religious roots. I would say they're probably the best or one of to maintain those values. Its restaurants remain closed on Sundays, so they give up a seventh of their entire revenue, technically. I think God blesses them way more than that. But they give up that, sales for Sundays to allow employees a day of rest and worship. That's biblical. We need the rest. We need a time of rest. We need time to be with our family. The decision was taken by its founder, Truett Cathy, a conservative, very Orthodox Christian, in 1946, and it continues to remain in practice, even though he's passed just a couple years ago and his son's taken over the business. Now, on the other hand, burger chain In-N-Out Burger prints Bible references on its cups and wrappers. So the restaurant founder was a devout Christian and made sure to share his religious beliefs through the company. That's his business. Some people say, well, he shouldn't be doing that. Well, if you don't do that, then you're promoting, atheism. Nothing exists in a vacuum. This practice has been carried out by In-N-Out Burger, carried forward by his family. Again, you see the next generation, thank God, has done that. The burger chain is now being led by his granddaughter, Lindsay Snyder, who recently stated that she turned to God after losing her father as a teenager. And later, listen, 3 failed marriages, people say, oh, that's pretty bad. But listen, she came to the Lord. All of us have some, make mistakes. Thank God she's with the Lord now. Snyder continues to carry on the legacy of her elders by expanding the number of religious references on the packaging. So she's putting the pedal to the metal. Go, Lindsay, girl. You're awesome. I don't know how this article, by the way, baffled me. They missed Coca-Cola Consolidated out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I have to think on purpose. Not Coca-Cola Corporation corporate out of Georgia. They're very not Christian. Coca-Cola Consolidated out of Charlotte, North Carolina is the largest independent Coca-Cola bottling or bottler in the United States with sales of $6.654 billion with a B. They market to 65 million people in 14 states. And by the way, they're all over the world. Okay? They're huge. Let me tell you, they have a chaplaincy program. And let me tell you something. Frank Harrison is the president and the CEO, and I'm good friends with a person who works directly under Frank. And Frank is real deal. I've seen him on video conferences and stuff, and I'm just telling you, he's a real deal. God bless that man and all of those. My good buddy Mark Whitaker, who's been on the podcast before as well. That is you want to check them out. Great stock. I'm not here pushing stock, but their stock's very high. It's done very well. So anyways, in closing, listen, the secret sauce behind what really made America great is Christianity. And if we will, we can make America great again. You know how we do that? By getting back to a serious faith, Orthodox Christianity, Christian faith, instead of this cultural Christianity, this kind of version, this light version of Christianity. And part of that entails not making God in our image. God, Dr. Geis used to say, God made us in his image and we've been returning the favor ever since. That's the problem. That's what's making America not great. If we go back, God will raise us up again. We'll be a different country for sure, but this is the secret sauce. So making God in our individual image has never worked, never will, and it always serves. It's always self-serving. It's always going to bring us down and away from God, not up towards God. It's never going to make us great. It's never going to make our nation great. Listen, God wants to bless you and I and our nation with great provision, great protection, great abundance. But he does not want that abundance and those blessings to be the center of our worship. God comes first, and all of the things, including ourselves, come second. In our next episode, I'm going to address with you countries where Christian population is beginning to increase, most by 2050. So you want to make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit that, by the way, remember, go down, check out, join the community, StephenGarofalo.com or StephenGarofalo.locals.com. You want to do that. And then before you go, you know what I always say? Bam! Scanzio Sinistro. Hit that Italian right hook to the old subscribe button. Subscribe, you won't miss any more. God's blessings to you. Thank you for tuning in for Reason for Truth. I'm your host, Stephen Garofalo, and this is your Reason for Truth for today.